and welcome back to the podcast. So today I'm going to give you guys kind of a shorter podcast, but of course still nonetheless fucking juicy because that's what I'm here for. Obviously, the most important information that you guys need to know is that the event tickets have gone on sale. So you already know what the location is. The location is, yes, Melbourne, Australia. I cannot believe that I'm finally doing this. I feel like it's been a very long time coming. You guys have asked for me to do an Australian event for a long time. I'm trying to turn my light on. An Australian event for a long time. So I'm really glad to finally be able to do it for you guys. Beautiful location, very easy to get to for everyone on public transport. And if you're not from Australia, well, now here is your reason to visit Australia because it is a really beautiful country. It really is. And even though it's going to be kind of cool when we have the event, which is actually a good thing, so we're not sweating bullets because Australia is fucking hot, so we don't want to be doing that. What would be really nice for you guys to plan is a little bit of a getaway up north to Queensland area after the event for some integration time, for some relaxation, obviously just to see Australia if you haven't been there before. Even if you live in Australia, like go on holiday afterwards. You fucking deserve it. Also, there is a prize to be won. So you can win the chance to have a day spa at Urban Willow Retreat in Toorak, or is it South Yarra? I don't know. Around the same area. It is my favorite spa place to go to in Melbourne. I used to go there all the time when I was living there. So that is that's like the thing that you can win. The details of how to win are all on the email that you get and on the website page. They're on the email though that you get once you buy your ticket. So you got to buy your ticket obviously to go in the chance to win that. And I'm just so excited. So May next year, I'll be coming to Australia and we'll be having my event and it's going to be 3 days of nothing short of the most transformational, life-changing 3 days of your life. And you'll be very fucking glad that you made the effort to come. So the pre-sale is on sale right now, $1,000 off. Make sure that if you are on the wait list, then you've got your details all in your inbox. If you weren't on the wait list, then your details will be on Instagram stories and they'll still go to your inbox as well. The waitlist people got early access, so they got to buy their tickets a little bit earlier than everybody else. So if you haven't gotten your email yet, it's because you were not on the wait list. So make sure that you just keep watching my Instagram stories, keep checking your inbox, and then you will get your tickets to be able to get your spaces. There are only 60 spaces available, and obviously this is going to sell out because I've been asked for 4, maybe even nearly 5. By the time of this event, it will be nearly 5 years to do an event in Australia. So finally, I'm doing one. So yeah, only 60 tickets available. So I am envisioning, manifesting, and it's highly likely that they will sell out in the pre-sale. So do not wait and make sure that you grab it during this time. The pre-sale of the tickets ends on November 11/11. I didn't even realize that when I was doing the EdCal, but then I just realized the other day, 11/11. So make sure that you get them before that because once that is closed, I will open the tickets up if there's still tickets available next year, but it will not be this year, so you'll have to wait to then buy a ticket. Okay, let's jump into today's episode. So what I want to kind of jam on about and give you guys a little bit of a riff on is creating safety about that next level. Because the reality is that when you are constantly growing, and this can be whether you're growing in your relationships, when you're growing in your business, whether you're growing in your career, it doesn't matter like whether you're growing in your personal development, your health, it doesn't matter in what area of life that you are growing in. It can feel like overwhelming sometimes, and it can feel like a lot. When you are taking these big leaps, these big steps to go to that next level, it's very important that you are aware that change is actually somewhat exhausting on your nervous system and it can feel like a lot. And so you want to make sure that you're not also like blocking more change from coming into your life, or you want to make sure that you are not, what's the word? You want to make sure that you are not limiting yourself from that next level because of fear of growing, of evolving, of changing. A lot of people have a fear of change, and that will really hold them back in allowing their body and their nervous system to feel safe to go to that next level, because obviously you have to go through a phase and a season of change, which is a beautiful thing. Like, it's great to go through change. It's exciting. And you will have that moment. Like, as you would guys know, that's interesting. As you would know, we just launched our new website, which looks fucking amazing. I mean, I had my previous website for a long time. I'm going to do a business update for you guys in another episode, but that, for example, was big because even though for a lot of people it would be like, it's just a website, like, why is that a big deal? The night before that we were like, okay, this is going live, and actually we pushed it back one day because there were things we had to fix, which is fine. The morning of, actually, so Thursday morning, it was meant to go out Thursday, went out Friday. Thursday morning, I was just feeling like funky, like kind of like this push and pull energy in my body, and just kind of feeling like a bit, like I don't even know what's going on. It was like, it was that feeling of like, I want to work out, but I don't want to work out. I want to work out tonight, but I feel like I should work out this morning. I'm like, kind of want to work out, but I don't want to get really exhausted before my clients because I didn't sleep very well last night, blah, blah, blah. And it was like this push and pull energy. And that was really like, I was in the gap. I was in the gap of going from old website to new website. And the thing is, the new website, you guys are going to look at and be like, holy fucking shit. It matches the brand that you guys see on like Instagram, on my Instagram stories, on the podcast, like the graphics, all that kind of stuff. But my old website was really old. Like, I hadn't found somebody that I trusted to do a really good job, because a website rebuild on my website is a huge project because the website is fucking massive. And there's so many things that have to be integrated into it. So I didn't find anybody good enough to do the swap over. And like, I didn't have the space, the time, the capacity to be doing that myself. So yeah, I had a really old website and I didn't have the team. Then I got the team. And so then we had the capacity to actually build this. And it's a new level because it's a new level of my growth and my business and my evolution of the brand, because now it's like, okay, I now have the capacity to take on more. I have the website to now have my book launch, to grow my business, to take on more clients. Like, it's not just about a website. It's about a new energy, new shift, new mindset, new way of showing up. It's just, there's so much newness. And before that, you can kind of feel this like, because you've been working towards something for so long that when it happens, it's like that slump a little bit, and that's normal. So coming back to the topic, creating safety about growing is actually a really important topic, because the reality is that a lot of the time in society, we can feel like it's wrong to be successful, or we're going to get shamed, or we're going to get in trouble, we're going to get judged. There's a lot of fears that can come with holding more responsibility and holding more success. Maybe it's that you're more in the public eye and that scares you, or you're afraid of, having less time for yourself, or the fear of having the responsibility of holding more money. There are just new fears that actually come up with having more. And even if you've, say, for example, cleared the fear of like being wrong with previous work, it can come up in a different way because you are in a completely different space in your life that you were never in prior. So the fear never came up in that way. And now it's coming up in a different way. And I want to say those fears are really normal. Like, it's really fucking normal. And that's why it's so important that if you want to keep growing, and as you keep growing, that you have the support for you, and not just the support in like systems and strategies. I'm talking the support in like, do you have a mentor, a healer, a coach? Do you have someone that is actually going to ensure that your nervous system and your energy and any past trauma, your nervous system and your energy has the capacity to grow, and any past trauma has been fucked off with. So that does not stop you from being able to get to the next level. That is really, really important and often underestimated, because often we think, well, like, I don't have anything more to work on, so I don't need any more help. And whilst there's truth in that, having someone there when you need them, having monthly calls or bi-monthly calls to just ensure that you're all good, that your energy is good, you're in alignment, all that kind of stuff, it can prevent there being a crumbling. So therefore you don't come up against those crumbling things. Like, I would in the past, for example, be like, okay, I don't need any more mentoring. Like, I'm good for now. I just need a break. So then I would have a break. And like, I'm all for breaks, by the way. I'd have a break, and then like, shit would fucking crumble. And it's like, oh my God, if I had her there with me, she would have nipped this in the bud before it happened. So I made like an oath to myself, basically, and to my leadership coach, that like, I can never not hire her and pay her, because she ensures I don't have a fucking like crashing mountain moment, because she sees things that need to be nipped in the bud before I do, with the growth of my business. So she's not helping me with like nervous system stuff and whatever, because I obviously do that myself, but she's helping me more with like this, with like just leadership stuff, so that I don't get overwhelmed and come across hurdles that she knows how to avoid, if that makes sense. So the other thing is like, if you're wanting to have more money, create more wealth, bring in more abundance into your life in the terms of like money, cash abundance, that can come up, that depending on how you've been brought up with money, can have its own fears and whatever that arises to the surface, because there can be a feeling of unsafety with having more money, a feeling of like, what if I lose it? People are going to judge me. If I have more money, people are going to want to take it from me. People are going to expect me to pay for things. People are going to ask me for X, Y, and Z. There can be a lot of fears that come up when you start to have more money that didn't come up for you when you had $20,000 in the bank, but now that you have $200,000 in the bank, it's coming up in this new way. These fears are arising in a new way because you're in a new opportunity. So when we're thinking about like, how can we create safety, it is really, really important that you create space in your days and in your weeks and in your life to come back to you. Because if you're a busy woman, a successful woman that's got a million things going on, doing all these things, and you have this constant output of energy, whether it's output of energy to your kids, to your lover, to your business, to your team, to your friends, whatever it is, if you have this constant output of energy and you are not taking time to have this input of energy, what will happen is you'll want to grow, but you literally cannot grow because there is a feeling of depletion in your body. And in order for you to have safety, you have to feel safe within you day to day. But if you're feeling drained, overwhelmed, stressed, overworked, pulled in too many directions, tell me how you're going to find safety in that. You're not. And that's human. It happens, whatever, it's fine. But what I'm saying is like, if you are really on the path of like growing and evolving and calling in more wealth, calling in more of that next level, you need to make sure there is space for that to come in. So when we talk about the space for that to come in, if you have a pile of trauma holding you back, there isn't going to be space for it to come in. You are going to feel like you keep hitting ceilings because the ceiling is your fucking trauma. So if you're wanting more, but you haven't done any kind of emotional release work, somatic work, trauma work, and not just being aware of your trauma, like full on visceral response trauma work, like somatic healing, you're not creating space. You're not creating this clear path in your body and in your energetic field, which I know sounds weird, but it's like literally legit, for you to then feel safe to go to the next level. Because, for example, if you have trauma around being ridiculed by your family, why the fuck would you call in more money? You're not going to feel safe to do so. Or if you're afraid of like, your partner leaving you because you become more successful, why would you become more successful? You're not. Or if you're afraid of more people wanting you, or you have more responsibilities, or X, Y, and Z, why would you become more successful? You're not going to become more successful because you are afraid of what comes with that, or you're afraid of being seen. Even if like, I want to have greater health, but you're afraid of being seen, you'll literally block yourself from having better health and from investing in having better health because you will be afraid of being seen with your glowing skin. Maybe you've lost some weight, you look toner, you feel better, you're vital, your eyes are brighter. If you have better health, you are going to be seen more because you glow, you radiate when you walk into a room, you look healthy. People are going to look at you more. That's just part of it. And if you're afraid of being seen, then you're not going to have glowing skin. You're not going to have, a stomach that isn't bloated all the time. You're not going to have luscious hair. You're not going to have bright eyes and a big smile because you literally don't want to be seen. So can you see how like the ultimate thing for creating safety is, do you actually want that thing? Like deep down, do you feel safe to have that thing? If not, why do you not feel safe to have that thing? What is it that you're afraid of is going to come with having that thing? And you can do your own journaling about it to get to the root and call bullshit and all that stuff. And that's great for you to do. And you will know what you need to do. You need to join one of my programs that does the trauma healing, that does the work with me so that we can fix this. Obviously, the best thing to actually do is come to my next event, because the great thing about my immersion is because it's 3 days, you are kind of like hidden from the external world. So we can just go really fucking deep in this bubble, and then I'll do all the integration stuff with you so you can go back into the real world. And that is the ultimate space for you to grow rapidly and clear the trauma at the exact same time. The beauty of how I do my events is you clear and you heal a lot of your trauma as much as we can, obviously, in the time that we have, whilst at the exact same time growing. I'm not just like clearing your trauma, then you're empty. Okay, go out and have a nice life. It's like we clearing your trauma in the first 1.5 days ish. And then after that, it's really about then the growing, the expanding, the DNA upgrading, the quantum leaping, and really allowing your body to feel safe to go into that next level. And like when I'm talking about that and us doing like manifestation, you can manifest all fucking day and night. But if your body does not actually feel emotionally safe when you're in those emotions and those feelings, those experiences, and your nervous system does not have the capacity to hold that next level, you're not going to actually be able to grow there. So that's where the event comes in handy. And that's what's going to be really powerful for those of you coming to those 3 days, because it's not only going to allow you to heal, it's going to allow you to feel safe to grow in all the areas of life that you want to: your business, your career, your relationships, your romantic relationship, your health, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with motherhood. All of the things are going to expand as a result of you clearing the space and the path for them to actually do so. The other thing to also think about when we're talking about like the safety of, having more in your life, whether it's more health, more radiance, more friends, more love, more sex, whatever it is do you feel safe in your body? Because when we want to receive more, manifestations come into our body, right? Manifestation is a somatic experience, and it's one where your body needs to be able to receive what it is that you want more of. And why this is important to understand is because a lot of us, we will manifest. We manifest heavily with our head, and we manifest heavily with our head because we don't, I say that I put fucking lipstick on. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I'm just like, what's my problem? Hold on. Okay. Cute. Um, we manifest heavily with our head because a lot of us are not living in our body. We're not living, in our femininity for a woman. And we're not allowing ourselves to feel our emotions. So we don't allow ourselves to feel what's in our body, and we don't trust our body as a result. We are so in our head, we're so head dominant that we are overthinking everything. We're overstimulated. We're desensitized at the same time. We are disassociated. And what happens is that combo, it blocks us from being able to feel safe in our body to actually receive the next level, because the next level is unknown, and something that is unknown will often make the alarms go off in our primitive brain to say this is dangerous. So then what happens is we run the other direction, and we literally run away from what is going to get us to the next level. That's where self-sabotage comes in. Right? Like if you don't feel safe in your body, and if you are constantly procrastinating, or you have constant perfectionism, like that's how it can also show up. What will happen is that you will create self-sabotage, and the self-sabotage comes from the fear of the unknown. It can also come from a form of self-punishment if you feel like you've made the wrong choice in the past. And at the end of the day, the self-sabotage it's trying to keep you safe because you have made it unsafe to go into the unknown and to take that next level. And that's why when I'm talking about manifesting, or when I'm talking about growing, or when I'm talking about trauma, or whatever it is, it's like you can't just like write down what it is that you want to manifest. You can't just think your way out of trauma, because there is so much more to that equation, because it is such a heavily body based experience. And if your body does not feel safe to go to that next level, your nervous system does not feel calibrated and safe and open to go to that next level and like it actually can, then you will reject it. And this isn't to create shame as you're listening to this, because your body's actually doing what it thinks it needs to do to survive. And that's what then tells you there's some trauma in there with going to the next level, because the trauma is being triggered and you're going into a response of there is a threat. If there isn't any trauma there, then you won't go into it there is a threat response. You'll actually be able to go to that next level. So we often just think of, we think of trauma like, big traumas. We think of trauma like, getting murdered. Okay, seeing some interesting. You wouldn't be listening to this episode. Seeing someone get murdered, getting raped, having some kind of sexual abuse, growing up in an emotionally abusive or physically abusive household, really bad breakups, car accidents, ski accidents, plane accidents, whatever it is. We think of trauma like these catastrophic big things. And that's part of trauma. They're real, they happen. That is part of trauma. But we also want to remember that trauma can be little t things. It can be a near death, actually, near death experience would actually be a big thing. It can be, a kind of sad breakup that was shitty. It wasn't like the worst thing in the world, but it was shitty. It can be your mom saying no to you. It can be you getting, bullied at school and not even that badly. It can be your, your brother's telling you that you were fat when you were little. It could be social trauma from social conditioning. It can be so many things. And what happens is that we only really think about our trauma when one, we hit rock bottom, or two, when it's showing up in really obvious ways. We forget to think that our trauma could be, or our mindset or our stories in our body and our mind could actually be blocking us from expanding and reaching that next level. And this is why, if you like, where I have clients that will do this work and they're not only seeing results in their personal life, they get the promotion, they get the dream job, money comes in, new relationships, whatever it is, like their skin clears up, their cycle's fucking amazing, they get pregnant, whatever it is, all these other things happen because the trauma isn't just affecting you the way that you think. I guarantee you the trauma is affecting you way more than you think. And something that I actually hear a lot from my clients is, whoa, I didn't know that affected me this much. I hear it so often. And that in and of itself is proof that basically you have possibly no idea what is under the covers. But what I will tell you is that if you feel like you're constantly coming up against ceilings, there is stuff underneath the ceilings that we need to get rid of so that you can break those glass ceilings to go to that next level. When I'm saying a glass ceiling, by the way, guys, I'm talking about think of it like you constantly hit this roadblock and you feel like you can't get past it. Or, let's say, for example, it's like you can never get more than $10,000 in your account. And as soon as a little bit more, it drops down straight away. Something happens and the money goes. That's like you have a ceiling. And in order to break through that ceiling, there needs to be safety. Do you guys hear that? In order to break through, what the hell was that? In order to break through that ceiling, there has to be safety in having more than that ceiling. And you can journal all you want, but that next level is not just, when you're in that next level, it's not just being received by your mind, it's being received by your body. And your body is going to be what is rejecting it just as much as your mind. So we often go hardcore on the mindset, which is great. But when you feel like you have to go really hard on the mindset and you have to push really hard and it's not working, and it's this intense mindset fucking fight every day, that's actually telling you that it's not about your fucking mind. There is something else in your body that is telling you no to what you're trying to change your mindset about. And that's okay if that's happening, because you then know, cool, I know it's there, let's fix it. So really, let's break it down. The number one thing that you need, I would say, to look at and to be honest with yourself about is do I actually feel safe in that next level? And then I would say the other thing that's really, really important is understanding that if you're wanting fast evolution, you better have a seriously great somatic healer with you along the ride that is not only going to make you aware of what's blocking you, she or he is going to help you to uncover your own blocks, not just tell you, but help you to uncover them, and then to help them get eliminated from your body so they're no longer showing up and present. So I hope this helps you guys on your journey of creating safety, about becoming rich, having the next level, having more success, boosting your health, being seen more, and just really going to a level that you haven't been at before, whether it's a level in your love life or whether it's a level in your physical health. I want you guys to feel like you can grow in every single level. And so doing, getting into your body every day, or maybe not every day, but as much as you can, it's going to help you to just create more awareness when you're feeling that stickiness in your system. So let's get into our bodies. Let's allow ourselves to get ugly, get wild, get, I don't know what the fucking word is, but just get into your body. Like, don't just try and think what you're feeling, just fucking feel what you're feeling. Okay. And with that, I hope that you guys have already bought your tickets to the event. If you haven't, please, and you know you want to come, like literally keep this podcast playing open Safari right now and type in www.monicayateshealth.com. Scroll down a little bit. The Immersion thing is right there. Click it, get your tickets, because you do not want to miss out on this incredible opportunity. I will say I will not be doing an Australia event again. I will never do. I mean, I'm not going to say never, but like I will not be doing one in the next at least 5 years, because it is so far away for me. And I have to take a lot of time off work because of the jet lag, and how long it takes for me to fly there. So please keep that in mind. Do not think I'll come to our next Australia event. There won't be one, because I don't fly to Australia. It's too much for me to fly me and my team out there all the time, and it takes way too much time off work with my clients. It's not feasible. So I'm doing it once, because I know you guys want it, and I'm really excited to do it. Like, I really fucking am excited to do it. Now, I'm not people pleasing. I really want to do it. I'm very excited for it, but I will not be doing one again. I have no thought process of doing one again, because it's quite the effort. So please make sure that you do book your ticket. And if you have any questions about it, you obviously can send me a message, send me a DM, ask me if it's a fit, but it's going to be a fit for everybody. If you have fuckloads of trauma, I'm not going to say that you're going to get rid of it all in 3 days, because there's probably a lot there, but is it going to be a hell of a starting point? And are you going to feel very fucking different at the end? Absolutely. We do before and after pictures, so you will see that energetic and physical difference in your face and in your shoulders and in your body. So you'll get those before and after pictures a few weeks after the event, so that you can actually see it for yourself. And yeah, if you're new in this journey, it's going to be an incredible starting point. If you've already done some of my other programs, you absolutely need to come. My in-person work is unlike anything that I do online. It is just like unexplainable. Watch the testimonial video. There is a great testimonial video on the website page that you can watch to hear the other ladies speak about it, from my previous event. So definitely make sure that you watch that, because that's going to really help you to get an idea of just come, basically. Like, stop thinking about it. Like, speaking of getting out of your head, stop thinking about, should I come? Should I come? Do you want to come? If so, make it happen, make it work, because I guarantee you that you've probably been a long time listener. You know that you want to do this work. You know you're going to have an amazing time. And not only are you going to heal so much, you're going to make friends that are into similar things. And I cannot tell you how many women I hear every fucking program. How do you make friends that are into this stuff? Come to one of my events, because you are going to be with these women all day for 3 days. You will make friends. I have a lot of women from past events that have actually made really good friends from it. And yeah, there's like so many reasons to come. So I'm just going to leave it there. If you guys have any questions about anything, please let me know. Don't forget to also join the behind the scenes bubble if you want to be able to leave a question for the next What Would Monica Do, so that I can answer it, because obviously I would love to do so. And I will also remind you guys that Be Love and Not a Mother and the Embodiment of Dating is going to be reopening on November 1st. So if you've been wanting to do Be Love and Not a Mother or the Embodiment of Dating, or both, November 1st, get that in your calendar so that you do not miss out. And obviously, as usual, just make sure you're on the email list and everything, and looking at my Instagram stories, because then you won't forget to join anything. And if you haven't already submitted your form for Queen Alchemy, make sure that you do, because I am only having that extended payment plan of 4 months instead of 2 until like middle of December, and then it will be closed. And then we only have the split payment. So if you know that you want to do round 11 Queen Alchemy, please ensure that you and you need that extended payment plan. Please make sure that you fill in your form as soon as you can. And to do that, all you have to do is sign up to the waitlist, and you will get an email straight away afterwards with the details of how to fill in your form. And then I will email you, within like 3 or 4 days afterwards, to get the ball rolling for you. Okay. Have a lovely day, everybody. I will see you in the next episode. I love doing these for you guys. Don't forget also, if you want to watch the episodes, that you can find me on YouTube, search Monica Yates, and then you'll see them there.